Carlos King himself jumped into the mix, and baby, the way he came for Martell Holt. Whew, let's just say it had fans clutching their pearls, side eyes flying, and group chats lit all the way up. But here's the kicker. The moment Carlos called Martell a liar and a cheater wasn't even the most shocking part. Nope. The real twist? The whispers that Maurice Scott may be hiding his own secrets. Secrets that Martell just might be ready to expose. And y'all already know, a man with nothing to lose is the most dangerous kind. So let's rewind and break this down piece by piece, because the way this story is unraveling feels less like a reality show and more like a whole telenovela. And just when you think you've figured out the plot, another twist jumps out at you. Now, here's where it all started. Carlos sat down with Claudia and Dustin to dish on the latest Lamch episode. We all expected some shade, maybe a laugh or two, but nobody expected Carlos to come swinging at Martell like that. He flat out called him a liar and a cheater. And yes, y'all, we've all said it, we've all seen it. But to hear it come from Carlos, the king of reality TV drama himself, that was a statement. And of course, Dustin chimed in with his take, saying Martell completely ate Maurice up in that scene. Imagine being a whole lawyer, proud of your intellect, and yet Martell Holt, Martell of all people, is the one laughing in your face, making you stumble over your words. If you ever needed a definition of embarrassing, that was it right there. But y'all know me, I don't stop at face value. The question isn't just, why did Maurice lose the argument? The bigger question is, why didn't Maurice fight harder? Why didn't he clap back with the strength of a man who knows he's innocent? Why did he sit there, practically intellectualizing Martell's accusations instead of shutting them down? Let me ask you this. If someone was lying on your name, on your marriage, wouldn't you defend yourself with fire? Wouldn't you look them dead in the eye and say, you're a liar? That never happened. Keep my name out your mouth? Because baby, I know I would. And I know most of y'all watching would too. But Maurice didn't. Instead, he danced around it, minimized it, and acted like Martell was just lashing out. And that's when the speculation started. Fans on Twitter were dragging, saying, nah, this ain't adding up. One wrote, if it wasn't true, Maurice would have shut Martell down real quick. Another chimed in, Maurice looking guilty just by the way he handled that scene. Whew, the timeline was on fire. And here's where the whispers come in. Allegedly, and I stress, allegedly, Maurice may be keeping quiet because Martell has receipts. Think about it. Martell has already lost everything. His marriage, his family, his reputation. What does he really have left to protect? If he's cornered, what's to stop him from pulling out whatever dirt he's got on the rest of the cast? And if Maurice knows that, well, maybe silence feels safer than war. Let's not forget. This isn't the first time Maurice's story hasn't quite added up. Remember the reunion when he swore he never hung out with certain people, only for Mo to pull out the pictures? Yeah, that part. His pattern of deny, deny, deny until evidence surfaces is exactly why fans are side-eyeing him now. And, baby, the details of this so-called car accident explanation? A mess. First it was an animal, then it was a pole, then a tree. Which one was it? Because at this point, it's giving choose your own adventure more than it's giving believable excuse. And Martell, of all people, literally laughed in his face. And y'all know Martell laughing, that's a different kind of disrespect. But here's where the emotional layer comes in. Think about Kimmy, sitting at home watching all this unfold. These rumors, these accusations, they don't just live on the show. They bleed into real marriages, real families, real lives. Tisha even admitted the allegations are still causing problems in her marriage. And y'all, let's be honest. Rumors don't have that kind of staying power unless there's at least a little truth underneath. That's just facts. So now the question becomes, is Maurice really protecting his marriage? Or is he protecting his image? Because baby, there's a big difference. One is about love, the other is about ego. And from where I'm sitting, it's looking a lot like ego. And here's the final thought to sit with for Act 1. Carlos might have gone in on Martell, but the real story isn't Martell's lies. It's why Maurice is so afraid to call them lies. And if Martell really does have proof, honey, we ain't seen nothing yet. You know the kind I'm talking about. the ones where you didn't catch it the first time. But once you see it again, the body language just looks off. It was Maurice looking real uncomfortable during a reunion special when Vegas was mentioned. Back then, nobody thought twice about it. But now? Oh, everybody's saying he flinched like a man who's got something to hide. But here's where it gets messier, y'all. Because just when the debate started dying down, a certain anonymous close friend of the cast slid into a blogger's DMs with a little tea. They claimed Maurice wasn't as innocent as he wanted to appear, and that Martell has been holding receipts for years, just waiting for the right moment to swing. Can you imagine? A whole stash of screenshots, maybe even videos, locked away like an insurance policy. That's not just gossip. That's chess. And Martell, he's leaning all the way into it. Sis, he is posting those cryptic Instagram stories again. You know the ones? Black background, white text, dramatic quotes about loyalty and snakes in the grass. And the comments section? Whew. Folks were tagging Maurice like, "Is this about you?" Meanwhile, Martell just let the timer run out on that story without ever